Hi friends, this is our continuation video from our last video where we have seen the NAT configuration of our checkpoint firewall, where we have enabled NAT for our LAN network and we tried to connect to the internet, and we also checked our different types of NAT method available with checkpoint. So continuing with this, we will see more detail about the NATing configuration. Now in this lab, we are going to introduce our DMZ network. Then we will check how we can introduce NAT with DMZ, LAN and over internet. Let's start this video. And first of all, we need to enable our VMware. Let's start the VMware. So this is our VMware machine. We have PC1 as a LAN, management RT1. This is management server. We have 2 firewalls in cluster as well as the Windows server. Now we have moved this to our DMZ zone. So if you go quickly to the firewall, and let me show you, in our firewall now we have total 4 interface. Let me open that firewall first. So you can see we have network adapter ETH0, ETH1 as bridge, which is towards WAN, ETH2 is towards our sync interface. We have made ETH2 as sync, and ETH3 is VMnet4, which is we are going to use as DMZ. So this is on firewall 1. A similar way, just go and check, cross verify the firewall 2 settings. This is our firewall 2. In this same ETH0 is VMnet2, which is towards LAN. This is towards WAN. This is my sync interface, and this is DMZ network, which is VNet4. And our virtual machine Windows server, you go and check, this server is towards the VNet4. It means this is going to be a part of DMZ, and the IP pool which we are going to use in this case for DMZ, it's 192.168.1.0/24 subnet. So if you go quickly and jump to the firewall, and let's see. So interfaces, interface all. So that's not taking. So interfaces all. So this is ETH0. You can see ETH0 is 10 series subnet 10.0.0.1. ETH1 is 172, which is towards our external interface. Then we have one loop back. Okay, I guess we missed one interface. Let me show you. 0, 1 and 2 and 3. If you see the 3 one, this is 3, 192.168.1.1. So our topology is going to be like this. We have LAN PC and management server on our LAN subnet. We have Windows server with 192.168.1.6 IP, which is on DMZ zone. This is connected to VNet4, and both the firewall 1 interface, which is ETH1, is, it is not ETH1, it's ETH2 basically. ETH1 is to our outside. So let me correct that. We can correct it. So this is not our ETH1. So we have, in this firewall we have 4 interface, 1, 2, 3, 4, total 4 interface. So this one is ETH0, which is towards LAN, and ETH1 is towards internet, ETH2 is towards sync interface. Let me erase this. And ETH3 is towards DMZ. So this is going to be our topology. Let me jump to that PC and let's open our smart dashboard here. If you have not seen my previous video on the NATs, so I will suggest please go through that video first, then continue this video. This is NAT part 2. We are to dashboard, just go quickly to the policy, security policy, and verify the policy first, what all policy we are using currently. Then we will proceed with the configuration. So this is the policy tab. Let me show you. We have LAN, from LAN to firewall, firewall to any, and then any to any VRP only. Then any to firewall is dropped. And then we have two ports, LAN PC and Windows Server 2K3 to any HTTP, HTTPS and DNS. We have allowed a specific 3 rules now, and ICMP any to any. Just quickly go and check the NAT rule. There is only one manual NAT. There is no automatic NAT. So let's quickly delete all these NATs. Then we will start from again, or that will delete all this existing setup, and then also delete this. Now there is no NAT rule. Go simply quickly and install, publish and install policy. The policy installation is successful. You can see that. Now let's try first from our internal machine. Try to ping external IP any. It will not ping because we have removed the NAT rule. The same way, just go quickly from your DMZ machine to 8.8.8. You're not able to ping, right? Go back to the PC. Just try to access any browser. Also, just open any browser. I guess this is from cache. Let me check that. It seems from cache. Let me open. You can see it's not working. That was from cache. We will now quickly go and enable a NAT. Just try from LAN PC to your DMZ machine, because this LAN PC is from Thames subnet and DMZ is from different subnets. So in NAT, what I said, the NAT is for hiding your private IP. Means you cannot route your private network over public IP. But in our DMZ is also using the private IP. It means without NATing also we are supposed to reach the DMZ network. So let's try to ping that DMZ server. You can see I'm able to ping that server. Now same way, go to the DMZ server. Try to ping your internal LAN machine. So it means for private to private communication, means there is no NAT is required. But at the same time, when you are trying to connect to public from DMZ, as well as we move quickly from your LAN PC, you are not able to ping. You can see 4.2.2.2. No. For that, just go and start NATing. So this time we will go with the object netting first. So we have LAN object. Just go simply LAN object based netting. This will create an automatic rule here. So I just open the NAT, click NAT object, under object LAN object, click on NAT, click here, add automatic address translation rule. As of now, you can see there is no NAT rule, even automatic or manual. Just click here. Now first we will go with hide NAT, hide and hide behind gateway. Click on OK. You can see here network hide rule. 2 rules are by default created. This you can see. Once I clicked here, let me show you again, and enable the NAT feature under the LAN object with hide gateway, I can see 2 automatic generated rules here for network hide rule. That is LAN, if source is LAN, destination is LAN, any service, don't make any translation, keep it original source, original destination and service original. But at the same time it says if the source is LAN, destination is any, original service is any, hide behind gateway, right? click on OK. So this rule is automatically created, and simply go and publish. Select policy installation. So there is a difference between when you say destination as any or destination as 0000, that is internet. You will see the difference right now. So when we enable the NAT feature under the object, it created a network rule. Two rules created by default. LAN to LAN is don't make any changes. The source is LAN, destination is any, then hide it behind the gateway address. Let this finish. You can see success policy installation is successful. Now just try to ping the public IP first. I am able to reach the public IP. Now try to ping your DMZ server. You are able to ping. So in both cases, you are able to reach. Now go to the DMZ. See if it make any difference for the public IP first. No, you cannot, because the NATing is only enabled for LAN subnet. Now try to ping 10.0.0.4. You are able to ping. Right? Go to the logs and let's see what logs is. You can see starting from here, LAN PC to the DMZ server. Double click and open that. It's allowed. Close that. Windows to LAN PC, you are able to ping. Just open that. There is no NAT feature. You can see NAT option is not there. Now again go to LAN to public IP. Click here. See, LAN to public is not showing. Let me check why it's not showing the NAT rule. It is supposed to show the NAT rule. Is it logging is enabled? And we need to check that logs also. 1 minute. Let me check that. Let's verify that. Okay, that was the old logs. That is 15 minutes back logs. So you can see this LAN PC to public IP. NAT rule is there. Hide behind gateway. This is our cluster VIP IP address. Go to Windows machine, from LAN PC to DMZ. Just open that and see what. Now here you can see it says 1.3. So even in the case of DMZ, my source is getting NATed. Why? Because I have done a automated NAT on the complete subnet, and I am saying that hide my IP behind the gateway. So if it is going towards WAN, it is showing you the WAN interface, and if it is going towards DMZ, it's taking IP of DMZ, right? Let me show you again. You go here and open this ICMP. See, if the source is LAN, destination is internet, take my interface source as interface IP, external IP. Now in the case of DMZ, if traffic is from source to DMZ, even it is doing the NAT. Although both are private IP, 10.0.0 and 192 is private IP, but it is doing the NAT because we have enabled the complete NAT for this complete subnet, saying that if my source is this, hide this source behind the gateway address. So it will take the exit interface IP in this case. But if I go and put hide behind IP address, now see the difference. What is difference? You will get to know. When we have selected hide behind gateway, when it is going to the external interface, it's taking IP as external. And when it is going to DMZ, it's taking IP of DMZ network interface. But when we go and do hide behind gateway, then in that case, we can give a single IP. Either it can be towards internet external IP or towards DMZ IP. So let's put first towards, take any IP from the external network pool. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And check the NAT rule. If it, you can see. And now go and push the policy. In our previous case where we have enabled hide behind gateway, in both cases where it is going to external or DMZ, it's hiding my network. Sorry, I have selected wrong policy. It's hiding my network towards the exit interface of that zone. So my policy is successful, you can see. It's successful. Now go again and try to ping DMZ. I'm able to ping DMZ. And try to ping public IP. I'm able to reach public IP. Now again try to ping one more IP. Let's just for record 8.8.8. I'm able to reach. And then try to ping again 192.168.1.6 and take a random IP which is not there, 5 is not there, just try. So it will not give you any response, but just to check the logs, I just ping this IP. Now go to the logs and just refresh once because the timing is 7:55. Let's see. Now you can see. Let's start from 1.5. Even we got RTO because this IP is nowhere exists. Let's double click that, open that. You can see my source is getting translated with 123. Now go and check. In this case, it's 123. And now go towards check towards DMZ. It's 123. So anything coming up from this source towards this destination is taking source IP to this. The flow will be like that. In this case, the source traffic is from there. It will hit to the firewall, and from firewall, it will do the NATing, take the IP as 172.192.123, and it will send destination towards this because destination we have this traffic will go as a return traffic. When it hit the firewall, it will check for the NAT rule. Yes, it's part of the existing NAT rule, and the source is supposed to be translated back to the 10.0.0 series. It's like that. So this is the NAT rule for the complete object. Now, the similar way, I'm just going to create a manual NAT rule for my external for my DMZ. So just go and click here, add rule at the bottom. So in this case, manual, we can create single rule at a time. But in the case of object, or you can say the complete object, network object base, you are seeing two rules. Now, before creating this rule, just create one more rule, object based rule, but for a single object. Just open that Win server. This is my Windows Server machine. So when I go and enable NAT, similar way we did for the network based object, if I go and click here and hide behind gateway, see, it will create a rule here. Let it refresh. Now you can see machine hide NAT. So now you can see differentiate what is machine hide NAT, what is network hide NAT. Machine hide NAT means creating a object based NAT for a single object. Network hide NAT is creating a object based NAT or enabling the object based network NAT for complete network. The similar way you can see a static NAT. What you need to do, just simply go and double click. So instead of selecting hide, click on static. So now it is asking static to which IP you want, right? So let's take an example 172.21.192.222. This IP is nowhere exist. I'm just taking a random IP from the same pool for my Windows Server machine, and it will do one-to-one NAT. Okay. And let me remove this rule. This is not required. Yes. So we have now go and install policy. So I'm going to push policy parallelly. If you realize that when I did a static NAT for a specific IP, there is a one more automatic rule created here, right? Where my source is, when my source is Windows Server DMZ machine, any destination is doing a static NAT, vice versa, it's created a rule from any source towards this destination, and in this case it will convert my machine, or destination is this, and it will convert a static NAT to the destination. Let me push policy first. Policy successful. Now quickly go and ping from your machine to the LAN or DMZ server. Ping. I'm able to ping. Quickly go to Windows Server and try to ping internet now. I'm able to ping. At the same time, just try to ping your internal LAN. I'm able to ping. So now we have created a single object NAT and added our IP with internal IP with a random public IP, or you can say external IP. Just quickly go and check the logs. Refresh that. So you can see two traffics we generated from our DMZ machine towards public IP 8.8.8.8. Double click on that. See the IP. Source IP is translated. Select means translate NAT source IP. This NAT rule number is 1. So from my actual source is 192.168.1.6, but after translation the source will be 172 series. At the same time, go and check for 0.4. You can see source is DMZ, destination is my LAN, but still my source is getting translated to the external interface IP. So this is the NAT object based NAT. Now just do one more test. Again try to ping this and check which rule is taking. This is LAN PC. Open that. You can see 172.123. Right, my source is 004 LAN to DMZ. Translate my LAN to 123. Let's cross verify that what was in that case earlier from DMZ to LAN. It's 222. You can see we can play with giving multiple IP, the different way of doing NAT, just to make sure the process of NAT rule take is from top to bottom, Now one more test we can do. Again go here. So okay, just remove this. So you can see when we are doing with the object based NAT, it's creating two rules. One from source, actual source to any destination, and translating the source only, rest portion is remain same, and vice versa. It's automatically created a rule taking source as any and destination is my Windows server, and then translate to the actual destination server like that. So just go and disable the NAT rule. Okay, and publish. Also remove this NAT rule for object. By creating NAT, you need to be very careful, otherwise it will break your complete communication if the NAT rule is not properly established. Let me show you how, why, and how. Now you can see there is no NAT rule. Just go and publish first. So as of now, we are creating NAT rules at the bottom. But suppose if you want to create a NAT rule, okay, go here at the top. Now there is one NAT rule here I want to place. I placed NAT rule taking source as LAN destination as any and translate my source. By mistake, I have selected my firewall DMZ interface IP. Suppose by mistake, and I did the publish. So NATing is there, but the interface which we have selected as a translated source is different. So let's see after this whether we are able to reach the internet or not. For that, just go and push policy. See what it says. Failed. Go and check the reason. Invalid source of address, because we have selected source as a network, but the method we have selected as static. So we need to change this to hide NAT. Right click, replace, hide. Now again go and do installation policy. Now policy is successful. You can see. Let's try and go and ping from my LAN to DMZ IP. I am able to reach DMZ because anyway this is internal, not required. Try to ping external IP. I'm not able to ping, and if this time if you go and check the logs, just open now. See, so my source is 10.0.0.4, destination is 8. NATing is being taken place. You can see the IP, but by taking this IP, my firewall is not able to reach the destination, the public destination. That's why I am not able to ping this IP. So you can understand, you need to be very careful while doing a NAT tool as a translated source. What should be the actual source? You need to be very careful. So just go and delete this quickly. And again, I just want to create one more rule at the top or at the bottom, anywhere you want. Put again LAN. I'm putting as LAN and destination any. Translation source, this time I will take as external source. This is my external source. Static, in place static, do a NAT hide and then publish and install. The policy is successful. Let's see, try to ping this time. All done. This is all about NAT, how to do a source. What we are doing currently, we can see this is also known as source NAT. It means my source is getting NATed. From my source, I am trying to go to any network. Then please translate my source. I am instructing my firewall, translate my source. That is source based NAT. But at the same time, if you want a destination NAT, it means suppose from my machine, if I'm trying to reach any destination, then translate this destination to other IP. That is known as destination NAT. Let me make one scenario for you so that you can understand the destination NAT. So I have enabled IaaS services on my DMZ server, and you can see if you try to access this HTTP localhost 6147, it will give this page. Let me browse this with the IP HTTP 92.168.1.6:6147. So this is asking you SharePoint sign, right? There is some services and the backend. If you see this 6147 is running with this server SharePoint. This is front page SharePoint. Now what we will do, this machine is having IP.6 192.168.1.6. It will show you IP config 1.6. Now we will go with the destination NAT. As of now, we are doing the source NAT. So for destination NAT, the concept is like that. If someone is trying from source A to source B, keep the source as it is and change the destination to any other destination. Means destination will be translated. So for that, let's create one object, dummy object for Windows Server machine, and we will give IP with .5. So first of all, try 192.168.1.5 is not pinging. So we will use this IP as a dummy object. Win server 2K3 dummy, and I will give IP 192.168.1.5, and then we will create a NAT rule just above, saying that if any source from LAN trying to reach that dummy object, or any like trying to reach .5, in our case it's dummy, but suppose if someone's trying to reach .5, translate this .5 to .6, make it as .6, leave services any. So what is going to be done? If any traffic from my LAN machine will hit .15, the destination will be translated to .6, and the response will come from .6 towards my LAN. So just quickly go and publish and install this policy. Install. Policy installation successful. You can see that. Successful. Now go and try to ping .5. I am getting response. It means whenever I am trying to reach 192.168.1.5, this destination is getting translated to .16. Let's quickly go and check the logs. You can see this is my dummy Windows. Let me expand that. 1.5. Double click that, and you can see that the destination is .16. This is destination source, and if you open any like this, just try to open this, you will see it says translate source. This is source netting, and this is destination NAT. Now the same way you can do service-based NAT. Like this is example of destination NAT because my destination is getting NATed. This is example of my source NAT. This is destination NAT statically. This is source NAT, hide NAT. Now the similar way you can do service-based NAT also. Let me configure that. So I have enabled a telnet service on Windows Server machine. You can see the telnet is enabled. Now quickly go. Also you can wait. Let's try with telnet first. Then we will go and add one rule here for telnet, and this is a telnet. This is added. So from my machine to any destination, if I try to do a telnet, also try to do SSH, which is already, I guess, not there. SSH is using port 22 and telnet is port 23, and just go and create a NAT rule. I will say Windows Server, same I will use, and I will put service as SSH. It means someone tried to connect on SSH. Translate this service to telnet. It means if from my machine I will try to connect this destination on port 22, in backend it will change the port as 23. Let's go and do the installation. Policy installation is successful. You can see that. Now first of all try to ping. Let's see whether I am able to ping .15 or not. It's not pinging. Why? Because first of all 5 is not doesn't exist, and for this services earlier it was services as any. So I was able to ping with any service. Now we change the service as SSH. It means if someone's tried to access .15 on port 22, then only it will allow the traffic based on this NAT rule. So just go and do a telnet 192.168.1.5 port 22. Enter. Okay, telnet is not enabled on the machine. Let me quickly try with putty. Let we can check 192.168.1.5 and I will go with SSH, right? The port is SSH. Open. We now just quickly go and check the logs. Now you can see this is my LAN machine 10.0.0.4 1.5. I tried on port 22. Just open that. See, source is 10.0.0.4. Destination is my dummy. So what is doing? It is doing the destination NAT as well as service NAT. Now you can see the service as port 23. Here the actual traffic was for 22, but after translation it translated to 23 and the NAT rule number is 3. So if you go quickly and check the rule number just to cross verify which rule is taking, you will find that this is the NAT rule number 3 and still I am inside that page, telnet page. This is all about the service NAT. We have seen the source based NAT, we have seen the destination NAT, we have checked the service NAT, we have checked object based NAT, we have done automatic NAT, we have done manual NAT. So we have covered almost all the netting part. That's all about NAT. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching me. Have a nice day. Bye.